Who is the brain rottedest, the mostest brain rottedest amongst us? Amongst us. This is how I look like. Skibbity Ohio Riz. Lit fam, bet, buzz, gas. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, does it? No, it doesn't make sense. It is literal nonsense. And this is how your kid's going to be talking. When they say the movie Idiocracy was not a comedy or satire, it was a warning. They are very much telling the truth. Because holy shit, man. In the last year or so, maybe 2 years, this brain rot content rise. It's on YouTube. I guess it's on TikTok. I don't know, but we're going to talk about YouTube side today. I don't get this stuff in my algorithm because I am not a toddler, and I'm not a young teenager. I'm not Gen Alpha, okay? And brain rot content is ruining our kids. And not only that, it's the parents that allow these kids to watch this shit that are ruining it. Now, what spurred this on? Well, yesterday, I don't remember the exact post, but it was a local post for here in Utah. Now, Utah is actually one of the better education states. Teachers actually get paid pretty decent here. Kids, typically score higher than a lot of other states here in Utah. I know a lot of people that don't live in Utah would deny that. They say it's a bunch of hicks and hillbillies here. But no, Utah is actually pretty smart. But it was a local post, something about, I know what it was. So this whole, I still don't know what 6-7 is. I heard about this weeks ago. Okay, I still don't know what it is. I don't care. I just know it was some nonsense. It's some brain rot bullshit. So now kids are just running around everywhere, just yelling 6-7 everywhere. Every week, it's a new thing. Some new weird thing. So, this school here in Utah, I don't remember what school, they started handing out mock tickets, like citations for saying 6-7. Like you would be almost like in trouble, but you're not. But it's like a thing to say, hey, can you fucking stop? Can you stop the nonsense? So, on the post, somebody commented, it's just harmless fun. Let the kids have harmless fun. Now, normally, this was my comment back. It was like, normally, I would agree with that. Because every generation does something that the older generation thinks is stupid. So I'm a Zennial. And that is, the generation that we grew up like Gen X, and then once we hit like the teenage years, the internet really just exploded and the whole world changed after 9/11. That was pretty much it. So we were the hinge generation. That's what they call it. The Zennials, we lived both lives. And I specifically remember, Mortal Kombat, when that came out, everybody was freaking out because it was so violent. But it's just a fighting video game, violent as fuck. I could see where the older generations were coming from with that. It was new, it was scary, but ultimately it didn't really do him any harm. Then we also, I don't want to give too many examples. It's fucking South Park, Family Guy, Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead. That was our brain rot content, right? But the thing is, the difference in how stupid those shows were, they were really funny. I still watch them today. They're still funny. But me being a writer and knowing how plots work, there's actually substance to Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and Butthead. They actually had a plot somewhat, more or less. It wasn't much of one most of the time. But they had a plot. There was some level of depth to what was going on. It wasn't just stuff happening, right? So if you look up shit like what we have today that we're putting in front of kids' faces, iPad kids, they're on these iPads 24/7. And not only is it just brain rot content like Skibbity Toilet, yes, that's a real thing, look it up. It's what you will wonder why this even has to exist. It's designed to grab children's attention and keep them watching. because YouTube rewards channels for watch time. So it's just an attention span killer. That's all this stuff is. All of this brain rot content is designed to glue your children's faces to an iPad. Their eyes to an iPad. That's what it's for. That's what it does. It's dangerous. And in doing all of this, it's created this whole new slang language called brain rot. And kids are communicating with each other so that parents don't even know what they're saying. The teachers don't know what they're saying. And it's causing, obviously, attention span issues. It's causing aggression issues. It's causing intelligence and critical thinking issues. And now you throw in AI, ChatGPT. These kids can't fucking figure out a full sentence without asking AI what to say. They can't even read without asking AI to summarize what's on a page. So I commented back to this guy, oh, it's just harmless fun, let it be harmless. He's like, normally I'd agree. But when these kids can't read, we've got teachers that are quitting teaching because these kids are completely out of control. They don't listen to authority at all. They have no attention spans. They can't read. They can't do basic fucking math. They have to use a ChatGPT, and if you refuse to let them use AI or any other thing like that, then they get all pissy. And you've seen these videos of kids when their iPad is taken, they don't just throw a tantrum, they go fucking insane. They act like their entire life has been destroyed. Now, most kids do that when we got our toys taken away. Cool. But these kids aren't being taught emotional regulation. They aren't being taught that being bored is not a bad thing. They aren't being taught to use their brains. They aren't being taught to just be a human being. They're being taught to stick to an iPad and ask AI for everything. So there's a point where teachers, since parents don't want to do it, they just let their kids sit on iPads. There's a point where teachers and schools in general need to start drawing lines. And one of those lines is don't use brain rot content. I saw another post a while back, a lady that on her chalkboard, now it's dry erase boards, they don't have chalkboards anymore, I'm old, but she had a dry erase board, and she had a list of banned words, and a lot of it was like this brain rot stuff, like skibbity and riz, looks max. Some of y'all probably don't even know what any of that is. I only know because I watch a lot of YouTube, because I like to learn things. But that's the thing, I don't watch YouTube just for attention stuff. I watch like documentaries, and I like to know what's going on in the world. I like to know why things work the way they work, and why people are the way they are, things like that. So, and, you know, an animal documentary, whatever, I'm just gonna watch it. And that's how I grew up, just watching documentaries and stuff. Kids don't do that anymore. They want this short form. It's not even short form content anymore, because that's what YouTube was. You know, it's shorter than a TV episode. I don't know what to call it, micro content, I don't know, it's just brain rot. And so that guy commented, and then I made my comment. I was like, look, these kids can't read, teachers are quitting, it's horrible, it's a horrible situation. And this dude replied, he said, that's a wild assumption. I'm not assuming anything, I just know what the world's like. I'm not in some echo chamber. Like I said, I like to know how things work. So I see all these videos on YouTube. They compile teachers that are on TikTok. And they're like, these kids are lost. Completely lost. And parents aren't doing their jobs at home. So these kids get to school and they're just little terrorizers. That's what it is. I think I drove too far. I wanted to go to Winco because I'm looking for a pork tenderloin to cook today. I did go too far. I gotta get turned around now. Anyway, but there's loads of videos on YouTube that you can learn about this. I don't just speak out of my ass. I don't just make up shit or spout my opinion as if it's a fact. When I talk about stuff like this, it's because I've seen a lot of it. And I've seen a lot of people complain about it. Or I've literally seen it with my own eyes. I don't just make stuff up. I know a lot of the internet does that. But I don't do that. I try to speak facts when I know them. And if I give an opinion, I say it's my opinion. But right now I'm just spitting facts. So here's the thing. Another person commented and it just seemed like one of the dumbest people on the planet. So she said, I think it was a woman, I don't know. She said, speak for yourself. My 5-year-old loves brain rot content and is excelling in every way. He's one of the smartest kids in the world. I don't know if she said it was in the world or not. But she had typed out this long paragraph essentially yelling at me for saying that Gen Alpha is cooked, right? Because of this brain rot content and AI. And she got offended. And she typed out this long, rambly word salad paragraph about how great her kid is and how smart her kid is, but loves brain rot content. And I'm just like, I don't know how smart your kid is. Okay? Could be very smart. I don't know. But saying that your kid loves brain rot content is not a flex. That is not a flex. It means that you are allowing your kid to literally watch content that is designed to make them fucking stupid. And you're bragging about it. Okay? I grew up on documentaries. I didn't watch brain rot shit. Even when I watched cartoons, it was smarter than this brain rot shit. And I know I sound very old man yells at clouds right now. I know what it sounds like. Because every generation, we all get picked on by the older generation for doing something stupid or having some new slang. But this is different. You know, I didn't really laugh at stuff that Gen Z did other than the Tide Pod shit, stuff like that, the challenges. But overall, Gen Z was pretty smart. Gen Z is a pretty smart generation. I would argue very, very smart overall. Millennials, about the same. Gen X, also smart, but they were more real world smart. I'll stop there. I don't want to offend anybody. Fuck it, I don't care. A lot of boomers are dumb as shit. They're smart in a lot of ways, obvious. A lot of boomers are dumb. And it's because they weren't as educated. They didn't go to school as much, they didn't learn as much. Over time, each generation gets more and more educated, right? But then that was the trend. The boomers, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, each generation was more educated. Because we had learned more, technology had advanced. But now we're at a point where technology has advanced so much that we're starting to walk backwards. And we're seeing that with Gen Alpha. We're seeing that they're hooked on technology to the point that they don't know how to be a human being. You could say, oh, they're just kids. Okay, yeah. But when a 5-year-old is too fucking stupid to string together some words and make a full sentence without asking AI how to do it, there's a problem. And I know, oh, it's just a 5-year-old. No. I remember when I was 5, okay, I remember being 5 years old. And was it kindergarten or first grade? I think it was first grade. I remember that I knew how to fucking read very well. I remember learning math and knowing how to do it pretty well. I've never been good at math. I remember being well-spoken and my friends being well-spoken in first grade. We weren't fucking retarded. And that's what brain rot content has done to these kids. It made them fucking retarded. Like it's that, really people? Is it that hard? I'm gonna cut you motherfucker off. I swear to God, how many times do I have to turn on the turn signal and everybody ignore it? What did I say? Everybody's retarded. Learn things. Stop being stupid. You, beside me that didn't let me over. Road rage. No, I'm not that bad. I get aggravated when I turn a turn signal on and people are just out of their mind. They're on their phones, not paying attention. And this is relevant to what I'm saying today. On their fucking phones, not paying attention. Brain rotted dumbasses. They are a problem. Now I'm just trying to get, it's like, back to what I was saying. Technology has made us go backwards. Idiocracy. I think Idiocracy missed that point. They couldn't have predicted that it would be cell phones that did this shit to us. But it was. Cell phones and then iPads. It's made everybody retarded. You know, and us, you know, Gen X and millennials and older Gen Z, we're just not like that. But younger Gen Z and Gen Alpha, their lives are gonna be hell. What is it gonna be like when these kids get older and start voting? Are they even gonna vote? I don't know that I want them to. I say that you should have to take an IQ test to vote. Okay? And I really, the longer I think about it, the more I see this new generation, the more I'm just like, we really need an IQ test to let people vote, because people are too goddamn stupid. They'll believe anything you tell them. And now AI. So this whole thing came out with this whole Epstein files thing. If y'all believe any of the info that gets released in these Epstein files at this point, if y'all believe any of that shit, you're out of your mind. It's going to be a lie or heavily edited or not at all. At this point, I'm not going to believe them. Hey, whatever they say, it's going to be whatever. No. They tried to deny they even existed. But anyway, he came out with this thing that said Donald Trump gave Bill Clinton head. And liberals are all jumping over all of it. They're jumping all over it and trying to make fun of MAGA, trying to make fun of Trump. If y'all believe that, you're fucking stupid. That's some made up bullshit. Even as somebody who doesn't like Trump, that is some made up bullshit. That's the stupidest made up bullshit I've ever seen. And people believe it. And then there's this AI video of Donald Trump. I guess 20 years ago, it's an AI video. It's easily identifiable as AI. Patting, he's like shaking Bill Clinton's hand, and he starts patting Bill Clinton's crotch. And everybody's like, this is what the Epstein files released. This was in the Epstein files. I'm like, the AI videos were not in the Epstein files. How fucking stupid are you? It makes me crazy how stupid people are. And we're going to let these people vote. These people are voting. These people are out there protesting and making their voices heard. Was free speech a mistake? What was it? Because we're letting the stupid speak too much. I'm going to get my pork tenderloin and some water, because I'm out of water. Go have a go.